Alright, so we've got a shocking development coming fresh out of the fryers of the Fighter and the Kid subreddit this morning, as someone actually found some real-life game footage of Coach Brendan Schaub getting ejected from one of his son's Little League baseball games, in, might I just add, a very dramatic and satisfying way. Like the umpire very passionately ejects him from the game here, in front of a huge crowd it sounds like. I mean, just look at the way he throws his whole body into that ejection call. It's almost like he's been waiting to do that for the past 6 months or so. So let me just break this down for you play by play, because this might be the most satisfying clip to watch, especially after Brendan Schaub's been bragging on his podcast about how toxic he is at his son's baseball games, fat shaming other 9-year-olds, and just overall being a very shitty guy, as usual.
If this slow fat kid gets hit off you, this isn't for you.
But I'll touch on that more later in the video. First things first, let's break down this clip so we can really get a good picture of what's going on here. So here we got former UFC fighter and failed comedian Brendan Schaub crouching down at first base, being way too emotionally invested in a literal children's baseball game. Like, this man looks like he's coaching Game 7 of the World Series. So this all starts when one of the kids on his team strikes out, and I'm gonna go on a limb here and assume that Brendan opens his mouth, says something slick to the ump, and the ump fires back with a warning. So the ump says, "Hey, that's a warning, coach, that's a warning," which already is like going way too far as a parent at a 10U Little League game. Like, these players still bring juice boxes and fruit snacks to the dugout. So usually for a normal, level-headed parent, that'd be enough. Like, you take your little slap on the wrist, you shut up, and you let the kids play ball. But this is the Brendan Schaub we're talking about here. The same guy who once admitted on air to calling kids fat during the games. So as you'll see shortly, the very next play he actually gets ejected for talking even more shit. And it all starts with number 11 walking up to the home plate, and I'm just going to go on a whim here and guess that this is Brendan Schaub's son, since with a quick Instagram search we can see that Brendan posted a home run that his son hit just about a week ago, where in it the son is wearing the number 11 jersey. So right off the bat we know that B. Schaub's going to be a little more fired up with this kid than usual. So the actual ejection happened as LT Gray was running into home base to score a run for his team, and as he slides in, the ump calls him out, which obviously sends Brendan through the roof.
Yeah! He's out!
So the ump calls the kid out, and then Brendan has an issue with it, says it's a garbage call, then without hesitation, the ump ejects him from the game. And the funniest part is watching it slowly sink in for Brendan. Like, it takes a good 10 seconds to register in his brain that this ump just ejected the shit out of him. So as you can see, he turns to the base umpire and is like, "Did I really just get ejected, bro?" And this is really the best part in my opinion, because Brendan then stomps over to the umpire and exchanges some words with him. And if you listen really closely, you can actually hear Brendan cursing the umpire out. So if you listen closely, he's like, "I got ejected for saying that call was garbage, even after getting a warning right before? How could you?" And the ref's already clearly made his mind up, and honestly at this point is probably scared for his life. Like, on a side note, this is actually a great example of just how big the guys are in the heavyweight division of the UFC. I mean, Brendan looks like an absolute monster compared to this little ref here. And if you listen closely as Brendan's walking away, he actually says something like, "Get the fuck out of here," or something along those lines, which likely everyone in attendance probably heard. You can even hear one of the mothers in the stands go, "Oh." So yeah, this has got to be one of the most satisfying clips that's surfaced of Brendan Schaub recently, because it's crystal clear evidence of Brendan Schaub being a douchebag in real life. Like, I don't think we've ever seen anything else like it before. And the irony of it is absolutely amazing, since just a few days ago he was on the Golden Hour podcast with Eric Griffin and Chris D'Elia talking about how he hates it when baseball dads get too fired up at games.
And then the ref wanted to fight. You know, I was like, this is crazy. I'm never coming back here
The ump had
again.
to call a timeout and was like, everyone needs to chill. This is rec. Everyone chill the out. Like, you're not helping the kids out.
Yeah.
I'll call the dads out, though. Like, this one dad kept yelling at his son who's on our team. Throw the ball harder. I went, but let me talk. You think he's not trying to throw hard?
Right.
What are you doing, dude? You're putting more stress on him.
Yeah.
Like, let him do his thing, dude.
And then what did the guy say?
He's like, oh, you're right, man. 2 plays later, throw it hard. Like, all right, f- it.
Well,
So a little bit of projection here coming from Schaub. Like he was basically just describing himself here. And hilariously enough, I don't think this is a rare occurrence for Brendan. Like I truly believe that he regularly gets ejected from his son's Little League games, since he's admitted in the past to swearing at the ump during the games.
I can't sit with like the rest of the parents right behind the batter's box there because I yell and I get pretty passionate about the game. Yelled out a cuss word. Super embarrassing. I was so embarrassing.
What was the cuss word?
It was the F word.
Oh, come on, man.
I know.
You're better than that.
I know. I can't help it. The ref was really not putting calls our way all day, and it was driving me nuts. And then there's one call I just went,
And as I touched on in my initial video about Schaub being a beast of a baseball dad, Brendan's also bragged about teaching his son how to fat shame his opponents. And he pretty much just outs himself as the worst Little League parent of all time. So let's just go ahead and relive that moment to really let this ejection sink in here.
and that's also why his attitude's that way. Part of it's on me. I go, if this slow fat kid gets a hit off you, this isn't for you.
That's a little bit.
What? Mean? It's sports. Tighten the up. That's why I'm his dad. That's why he's an outlier, you know? You got to be ruthless.
Yeah.
Off the field, we're very nice to the kid. And that kid doesn't hear it.
Of course not.
But T knows
Yeah.
if he's a big, chunky, slow kid and he gets a hit off you,
in other words,
we got work to do.
If he's big chunky kid, his bat speed's going to be a little slower. So let's
Everything's
throw
slow.
it down the pipe.
Oh, light his, and also from the sidelines, go, light his ass up. And then T just looks at me,
You'll say that from the.
oh, yeah.
Oh, baseball's no joke, huh? I mean,
No.
light his ass up.
Oh, yeah. I get pretty hardcore.
So in the end, this is just confirmation that Brendan is exactly who he tells us he is. A man so desperate for control and validation that he's now picking fights with umpires half his size at games meant for kids who still need help tying their cleats. And honestly, I hope this isn't the last time we get footage like this. Because if Brendan's going to keep acting like this in public, the least we can do is sit back, grab some popcorn, and enjoy the show. Also, on a side note, whoever's getting the clips for these games, props to them, but also it's just a little bit creepy to watch these like 10-year-olds play baseball. But honestly, I'm not even complaining. I mean, someone's gonna do it, you know? So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video, guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below what you think of Brendan as a baseball dad.